Hello, it's Delia. Thanks for clicking on. So I wanted to jump on and just say a little bit about some misconceptions, even in the New Age or spiritual kind of communities, about healing and transformation and raising your vibration, those kinds of things. So the idea is that you have to get your shit together first, or you have to heal your old pain, or you have to do your shadow work, or you have to do your parts work before you can raise your vibration or um, ascend, or any of kind of promised land ideas. But the thing is that you're kind of built into that idea is that you're bad and then you're going to be good, or you're broken and then you're going to be whole, or how things, how you are is not okay, and you have to get okay for things to change. But the universe is actually much more generous than that. The universe is with you in everything. There's not a hierarchy. It's not like the physical world, and you don't have to not be you to be okay, which is a real physical world idea. It's pretty much the opposite, and it's much kinder, more tender than you may have ever experienced before. The universe and your higher self are constantly conspiring on your behalf, constantly conspiring to support you, to support your growth, to support your healing, your transformation, but not because you're broken and then you're going to be fixed. It's more because you are. And, there's a lot of things going on the planet right now, especially here in the United States. And each location, everybody has something really specifically awful going on. And when you're in the location and you're the one who's having this particular awful thing that's in front of you, it seems like the most awful. But every place has particular challenges, and that's by design. We're all pretty much aware, I think, at this point, that their shock and awe agenda to keep everybody off balance is highly effective. And knowing how to regain your balance, or how to find your balance, or how to be in your center when all of these emotional Molotov cocktails are going off everywhere, is it's important, and it's challenging. You want to acknowledge that these are challenging times. Um, what I've been hearing from people lately is like an undercurrent of, if I just had my shit together, this wouldn't be so bad. If I wasn't so this, if I wasn't so that, if I wasn't so weak, then I'd be able to handle all of this better. This is not a true idea. You're not supposed to be able to handle insanity run amok. Nobody is. Those of us who had particularly challenging childhoods with crazy parents or alcoholics, there's all kinds of contributions to making parents crazy, adults crazy, and providing an unsafe and scary childhood for people. And in those situations, Those of us who've spent a lot of time working on clearing and, embracing those parts, reversing the trend to shun and in fact embrace. We're kind of, you may have noticed, you're kind of at an advantage because you've been to the crazy ass rodeo before, and it's harder to buck you off, right? It's harder to get you off center. You can just see, oh, this is narcissism. Oh, this is insanity. And once you recognize that it's insanity, you can stop trying to manipulate yourself into being okay with it. There's no being okay with mean, cruel indecency towards humans. That's just not something a healthy person is ever going to be okay with. So you don't have to try to make yourself okay with it. It's evil and it's wrong. It's that simple. And the fact that it's going on in the world, if you believe in a higher power, if you believe in a higher self, if you believe you're a spirit with a body, having a physical experience, if you believe that God is love, even if you believe that life is wonderful and abundant, and if you've ever observed life in nature, you've seen that life is indomitable. It just keeps finding new ways to thrive. So if you have that as your backdrop, as your foundation of your ideas of what living is, what life is, then what's happening, it makes sense that what's happening is bringing out all the poison, bringing out all of the shadow and all of the stuff that's been suppressed and oppressed, all of the racism and rapism and domination game and cruelty, feeling better by, being dominant over other people. All of that stuff has been kind of off in the sides or under the carpet. It's been around, no doubt about that, but it's been licensed in the past 10 years. It's been allowed, it's been cultivated, it's been nurtured, and it's been invited to come up. And from a bigger perspective, from a spiritual perspective, all healing, whether it's individual or a splinter, all healing, things have to come up and out for healing. They have to come up through consciousness for healing. If you've ever decided to reorganize that closet back there, right? You'll notice, pardon me, one of the first things that you do when you're going to unpack a closet is you have to bring everything out and put it all around so that you can start to organize like with like. So the first step that happens is things get worse. It's all out of the closet and it's all in you where you can see it, and including how much of it there is. Then as you process whatever it is, and you sort, and there's goodwill, and there's the stuff that you're keeping, the stuff you're giving away, or whatever your categories are, it all kind of starts to become more orderly. But the first step is that chaos. So What's happening now is the chaos of all the stuff that's been stuffed away has to come up through consciousness. Now, a lot of people have been really conscious for a really long time. I mean, some of us have been working for the civil rights movement and equality since the 60s. But some people have never thought about it. So it can't just be on your schedule. It has to be on everybody. Remember, the chain is only as strong as the weakest link. And there, I don't mean to make it sound like better and worse competition, but there are people who've never thought about any of this. And they have to think about it. It has to come up through their consciousness. Their consciousness matters. Everybody's consciousness matters. So as things are coming up through consciousness on their way out, it can feel painful for some people who've always been aware. And you have to understand if you're one of those people, because there's a lot of you out there, but there are a lot of people who've never thought about any of it. They've never thought about decency. They never thought about what it means to oppress somebody. That's just not been their experience. And they have no concept of their own privilege. And this is how they learn. So the thing to do with yourself, as these other people who've not thought about things before are given a chance to catch up, for things to come up and out through consciousness. The thing for you to do may sound very difficult, but it's allowing you to be where you are. So it's allowing you to be frustrated or scared or angry, whatever it is that you are. And this is true for everybody. The more you can allow yourself to be where you are, which has traditionally been one of the most vilified and illegal thing for anybody to do in this particular dominant culture, Western culture. And the more that you can befriend the disowned parts in you, the more you can be kind to the sore spots, the parts that are frozen back in childhood, the more you can turn your direction from running away from you to being curious about you as a first step. Ideally, to embrace you, but you don't want to make yourself take too big a step. So maybe just be willing to allow you to be, and allow all of your emotions, which has never happened before, probably. And each emotion that comes up, just be curious, what is the gift? Now, the gift is never going to be don't. It's not going to be not. So the gift is not going to ever be don't trust redheads. It's not going to be a don't. The gift is going to come. You're going to be able to perceive how, because of this limitation, whatever it is, on the other side of it is a freedom, something expansive, something wonderful. And the more you can switch your mindset from what's wrong with me, what's wrong with this, into what's right about me and what's right about this, and then look for it. And what's right about you and what's right about this situation will always be about expansion. and about thriving and about more life. So I know this is kind of stream of consciousness. Some of you are going to find it really easy to follow along. And the thing is to remember that the universe is not leaving you, has never left you. The universe isn't waiting for you to catch up. Your higher self isn't waiting for you to get well. For one thing, they're not judging you that way. Spirit, infinite beings, don't have judgments. They don't have emotions, and they don't have judgments. So no spirit, no infinite being is judging you. Just that's strictly a body personality thing. And it's the way this culture says everything must be. It's not true. But the universe is always with you. Your higher self is always with you. And all of the challenges that you come up with, that come up in your life, are actually gifts to help you get free. If you have the mindset that it's a problem or it's a lesson, which is like being punished, then it's going to be harder to see what the real message is, what the real gift is. So if you switch it to what's right about this and what's right about yourself, you're going to be closer to what the universe and your higher self are trying to say to you. Because it's always about setting you free, about making you stronger in who you are, about giving you more ease and peace and energy and imagination and creativity and love, all of the wonderful things that abundance holds for us, right? And really, all the wonderful things that life itself has in store for us. You know, life begets life, and life really enjoys living. And that's your essence, is life, along with spirit. So I hope you find this useful, and I hope you can entertain the idea of how would it be to turn things around? How would it be to be on your side more? How would it be? What could you do? What would it look like for you to perceive that the universe and your higher self are always with you and are always conspiring on your behalf? What would this, air quote, bad situation be gifting? And right now, on the national level, for sure, and to some degree, the international level, well, the international too, on the scale of human evolution, right now is a big time. And we're on the border, we're on the precipice of quality of life and interaction with each other that we don't have a past to project onto the future. Lots of people are projecting a past onto the future. I recommend you don't do that. I recommend you just allow for things to get better than you ever thought they could. Now, I'm not saying by the end of the year or, by the end of this decade even, but that is where we're going, because this is an evolutionary time, an evolutionary step for humanity. And the way it happens is within each person, becoming a kinder, more attentive, nurturing place for yourself to be, becoming more of that safe place for you to be. So I hope this gives you some good ideas. I'd love to hear your comments about this. And in the meantime, breathe and explore more ways to be on your side, which is never going to be that you're messed up and you have to get fixed. That's not what healing is. It's just change, because that's what life does all the time. All right. Till next time.